Welcome to the Pursuit Podcast. My name is Shana Recker, and I'm a business and mindset coach to entrepreneurs looking to be, do, and have more. My mission is to help you pursue your biggest goals, take the right actions, and make your desires become a reality. This podcast and my special guests help you make a quantum leap from where you are to where you want to be so that you can be living your best life. To go along with this podcast, I've created a special 4-step plan to help you map out the start of your own quantum leap. You can grab that at shanarecker.com/leap. What I share in this free download is critical to elite goal achievement. So I highly recommend you get over and you get started. All right, let's dig into today's conversation. Welcome to the Pursuit Podcast. I'm your host, Shana Recker, and happy Monday, everyone. Today, I have a training that I actually plucked right out of my elite mastermind. It is a training that I absolutely love to talk about because I believe that there are so many people out there who have dreams in their heart, who have things that they want to pursue. They have goals and things that they want to go after, but they doubt themselves. And it's in that doubt that actually stops them from taking any moves, from making any moves, from going after it. It's the doubt and the fear. And I want to talk about that today. And my mission with this episode is that if you're listening to this and you're one of those people who has a goal or has something that they want to achieve in their lives, and they just have not allowed themselves to go for it yet because they feel like, who am I to do that? I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I don't have enough skills. I'm not talented enough. I'm not like they are. I mean, we've all said those things before. I've said those things myself. I want this episode to help you at least think about the very minimum. Start thinking about making some moves. Start believing in yourself enough to go and at least explore what it could look like for you if you were to actually start to go after your dreams. And I hope, best of all, that after this episode, you're like, forget this. I'm going for it. Like I'm going to do it. I'm going to just make my moves today and I'm going to go after it. I'm done doubting myself and all that crap. So let's dig into this. And this is actually from the book U Squared, which is U Squared is a fantastic book. It's one of my all-time favorite books. My copy of the book has been written in, highlighted. I've got tabs all over it. I love it. I refer to this book all the time. It's a book by Price Pritchard. And this whole book, U Squared, is about how to have a breakthrough in your performance so that you can get from where you are to where you want to be, make those quantum leaps. And one of the chapters in this book is called Suspend Disbelief. And so I'm going to be referencing some of the stuff from this chapter, but let's just start about point number 1. When it comes to, you have this goal, you have this thing that you want, you have this desire for something. And the first thing is we start to talk ourselves out of it. We start to tell ourselves all the reason why we can't make it happen. Our instinct is to go into fear and doubt because going after this thing means we're going to have to make some changes in some way. We're going to have to step into uncertainty because we really don't know that our success is going to be for sure. Like if I were to say to you right now, what decisions would you make today if you knew your success would be for certain? What would you go after? What would you start doing in your life? What would you change if you knew for sure you'd be successful? And you would easily tell me, I'm sure, probably multiple things that you would go after in your life if you knew success would be for certain. And the reason that you're not going after those things is because success isn't for certain. There's a ton of uncertainty and those fears and doubts creep up. And then you tell yourself, you know what? It's too scary. I'm not going to go that way because I don't know for sure. And so I'm just going to stay over here and play things safe because I know for sure if I don't change anything or I don't put myself out of my comfort zone, that things will stay the same and I will be comfortable and I will be safe. And that's really what stops people from going after their dreams is the fact that they can't be certain that anything's ever going to work out. And ultimately, in everything we do, there's always uncertainty. You can't escape it. Even if you stay the same, who's to say that it's going to stay the same, right? There's uncertainty in that as well. So we're always risking something, whether we're going for our goals or we're choosing to, quote unquote, stay the same and stay safe. So here's what I want you to know. The first thing is that when it comes to thinking about your goal and going after your goal, the thinking that you're doing, the thoughts that you're having, your conditioned thinking is flawed. It's flawed. And when you look up the definition of flawed, it means damaged or imperfect in some way. meaning that the thinking that you have around your potential for making this goal happen is flawed. You think that you can't. You think you're not good enough. You think that you don't have the skills. You think it's going to be scary. You think you potentially could fail. And what I'm telling you here is that conditioned thinking, that is conditioned thinking. Over the years, we create beliefs about ourselves through what our parents have told us for years, our experiences, all those kinds of things, those paradigms that we have around ourselves, our beliefs around ourselves. That thinking that we've developed over the years is actually flawed. It's damaged. It's imperfect, which means we're judging the situation with imperfect thinking. We're not actually thinking about the situation in a way that's actually right. So it's flawed, it's damaged, it's imperfect. It's rooted in what you believe to be true about yourself, which is flawed, because our beliefs are things we've picked up along the way. Your doubts, those doubts that you have about your goal, those doubts that you have about the things that you want in your life, those doubts are not the product of accurate thinking. I'm going to say that again. Those doubts that you have, those fears, those insecurities, those things that you say to yourself, like, I'm not good enough, can't work for me, I'm not like them. All of that thinking is a product of the past, and it's not accurate. Your doubts are not the product of accurate thinking. So you're making assumptions about whether you can or can't do something off of thinking that's not accurate. What you believe to be true about yourself is actually hurting your chances for success. So when you think about that, what you believe to be true about yourself is hurting your chances for success. So then my question to you is what do you believe to be true about yourself? What do you believe that you can or cannot do? When I first started my business, what did I believe to be true? What did I believe to be true about myself? I believed that, here's an example. Here's an example of something that I have believed to be true about myself for many years, is that I have believed that I can't, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to mess this up, but that I am not very clear in the way that I describe things, that I jumble things up, that I can't express what I want properly, that I mix words up. I've been told over time that I'm, dyslexic, or I used to, and I still do it to this day, read words in the wrong order and put my numbers in the wrong order and see things in the wrong order. And so I've created this belief that I can't properly explain things or clearly explain things, that I jumble it up. And it's funny, I asked my mastermind group this. I said that to my mastermind group as an example for them. And they were all like, what are you talking about? Like one of the reasons I love working with you is because you can really explain things really well. You can say things so clearly, you make it make so much sense. But that's a belief that I've had about myself that's inaccurate. And so that belief would hold me back in doing things, and things like, doing live videos, or even this, like, to start this podcast, there was a big fear around, well, what if I can't explain myself very well? What if my podcast sucks and nobody likes it because I'm out there trying to train people and help people, and my words are all jumbled up and they don't like it? I could have used that to hold me back. Now I didn't, but I had been telling myself those stories, but it's inaccurate thinking, because it's not true. I mean, I'm not perfect, but I definitely can get, an explanation out there, and I can make it clear and concise. But that is a belief. That's an example of a belief that I've had about myself that has definitely held me back to some degree. I've gotten over it a lot in the last, as I've been learning more about all of this stuff. So we have to know what beliefs we have about ourselves, because when we understand the beliefs that we have about ourselves, we have the ability to reject the flawed beliefs. So when you can pinpoint in yourself, like, I know that I believe that I'm not good at video. When I get on camera, it's like, I don't like the way that I look. I don't like the way that I sound. I'm not good on video. So I can't go ahead and start my own online business because it's going to require me to be on video. And I suck at video and I can't do it. So that's a belief that you have about yourself, but it is not true. It is a flawed belief, and that you can reject those flawed beliefs. So we need to go back to thinking like we did as children. When we were kids, like, anything was possible. You'd pretend, you guys, when we were kids, we'd pretend we were whatever, superheroes, or we would pretend like, I remember playing school with my friend and we were like teachers and we were so smart and we were doing all these things for the class. And like, we'd play make believe all the time. Like anything was possible. We didn't get stuck in fear and doubts and go, oh, well, I can't play that with you because I'm not a really good teacher. I mean, I can't teach. I'm not smart. I didn't get A's in school. So we didn't do that. We just were like, yeah, okay, let's play that. Let's go. So we as adults need to go back to thinking the way that we did when we were children and anything was possible. Now, this is a time for you to find the faith that you had in yourself like you did when you were kids. Like we had faith, like we were just like, let's do it. We didn't let fears and doubts hold us back. We just went with it. We just like did it. And this is a time in your life. Like if you have desires and you have goals and you have things that you want to accomplish in your life, this is your life. Like you get one shot at this. So why would you allow your fears and doubts to stop you from having your best possible chance at making this your best life ever? Like, do you believe, and actually, before I even say that, I love this statement. I don't know who said this, but I love it so much. You have overcome 100% of the challenges you faced until this very moment of listening to this podcast. 100% of your challenges you have overcome. If you are listening to this, you are still here. You are still breathing. You still have life. You have overcome 100% of your challenges. So what makes you think you couldn't overcome the next one and the next one? You have so much proof that you can. For whatever reason, our ego and our natural ability to want to protect ourselves will only see the things that could go wrong and not look at the fact that, hey, listen, you've done this, you've done that. Like if you're a woman listening to this and you've had a kid, you've had a baby, like think of what we had to do to have those babies. What makes us think we can't start a business or we can't write that book or we can't? It just boggles my mind, the things that we will limit ourselves to believing we can do. And we just totally disregard the amazing things we have done as humans. We can do hard things. We absolutely can do hard things. Anything is possible. And so if you're going to be skeptical about anything, be skeptical about the things that you tell yourself you can't. Be skeptical about those things. Put those things to the test. Go back into your past and think about all the times that you overcame something that was scary and give yourself the proof that you can. So first, I want you to do that. Do that exercise. Go back into your life and think about the times that you overcame things. Man, like my husband and I have overcome so much stuff in the last 10 years. It's just so many things. I overcame leaving my corporate career for 15 years to start a network marketing business. I had no idea what I was doing. I made it work. I went to the top of that company. Like I have proof that I can do hard things. I have proof that I can step up to the plate when I don't know what I'm doing. So why, when it comes to doing something new, would I sit here and go, oh, I can't do that. That's scary. I can't do that. Like, no, I have proof, and so do you. So the first thing I want you to do is look into your past and look at things that you've overcame. Find yourself some proof that you can do hard things. And then secondly, I want you to think about a desire that you currently have for yourself that you are not taking action on. What is something that you really want to do in your life? Maybe you want to change careers. Maybe you want to go from being like me. I was a corporate graphic designer and I quit that career completely to become an entrepreneur. Maybe you want to become a New York Times bestselling author. You really want to write a book, but you've been afraid to put yourself out there to say you're going to do that. Maybe you want to move to a new country. Maybe you want to, I don't know, whatever it is, whatever the desire is for you. Why aren't you taking action on that desire? What are the fears and the thoughts that come up for you when you think about going for that? And then I want you to ask yourself, are those thoughts real? Are they accurate? Because I'm pretty sure they're not. I'm pretty sure they're flawed. And if we go back to the definition of flawed, it's damaged or imperfect in some way. Your doubts are not the product of accurate thinking. You know, the emoji that's got the little head exploding at the top, like that should be on a Post-it note and put on your computer. and put on your desk or put it in a frame, tattoo it on your wrist. And every time you have doubts, I want you to look at that, because your doubts are the product of inaccurate thinking, of flawed thinking. And so we need to have faith. We need to have faith. Now, when you say faith, what is faith? We need to have faith. What does that mean? Well, faith is just a state of mind. Faith is just a state of mind. It's basically, it's you believing that you're going to be able to get through it without any evidence. It's you just saying, like, this is what's happening and I don't accept any other option. I have faith that this is going to work out, and there's only one way it's going to work out, and it's just going to be me getting through it, and I'm going to do it. Faith is vital to the accomplishment of your goal. You need to step into it and have faith that whatever happens, you will figure it out. You'll figure it out. Because here's the thing, at the end of the day, you either have faith that it's going to work or you have faith that it's not going to work. There's only faith, but you choose which way you're choosing to have faith. So when you start something, even though it's uncertain and it's scary and you don't know how it's all going to unfold, and you never will. The only way you learn how it's going to unfold is to actually take action, is to actually pursue the dream. And it starts to unfold as you start taking the steps. You have faith that that's either going to work out for you and that you're going to figure it out. And each step is going to show you something, and you're going to take another step, and you're going to have faith that you'll figure that out. And then you're going to have faith that you're going to figure out the next step. Or you're going to look at it and go, oh man, I don't know. I don't think this is going to work. Like, I'll try, but I really don't think I'm the one to be able to do this. And like, I don't know. I see all these other people doing it, but they're different than I am. So I don't know. I guess, I'll try a little bit, but like, that's faith that it's not going to work out. You choose which kind of faith you're going to have. So what actions would you take if you knew you couldn't fail? If you think about your dream, what would be the first thing you would do? What would be the second thing that you would do if you knew success was for certain? If you knew success was for certain, because the secret is to act like you have that complete faith that this is going to work out for you. And then you go for it with everything you got. Like, if you want to make a quantum leap, man, it is all about pursuing the goal and taking big risks and acting in faith that everything is working out for you, that you are supported, and that even if this big leap that you're taking, this big jump that you're taking, this action that you're taking, even if it doesn't work out in the way that you're hoping it does, that it's teaching you something, that there's a lesson in it, and it's going to help you propel yourself forward either way, whether it works out or it doesn't. That's having faith. That's having faith that things are going to work out for you. And that's the secret. That's the secret. And you have to hold on to that with every single step. This chapter, suspend disbelief. You got to suspend the disbelief in every single move you make on the way to the thing that you want. Every time it doesn't work out, you still believe. You still believe. You're like, that didn't work. Well, it taught me this. I still believe I'm making this happen, and I'm going to take another step. I learned from that. I won't do that again. Or that worked. That's awesome. Let's do more of that. Let's try some more of that until it doesn't work anymore. And then you take a different step or another step. Anybody who has the level of success that you want in whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is, the dream that you have, anybody who has that high level of success, I guarantee you they took massive amounts of uncertain steps and had to have blind faith in big things and take the risks and have the scary moments. And they probably had a lot of failure. I'm actually for certain they had a lot of failure. I just did a post last week on my Instagram. It says, what is a quantum leap? And it's got this like graph, and there's like highs and lows, and it's all the emojis, the emoji reactions of what it's like to take a quantum leap. And there are just as many low points in a quantum leap as there are high points. But it's the combination of the lows and the highs that create that quantum leap, because it's in the lows, it's in taking the scary action where we don't have certainty that we grow the most. And it's in the growth that allows us to take that quantum leap, to propel ourselves up to that next level. When I think of a quantum leap, it's like you're taking all these actions and you're doing all of this work, and you have the right mindset. There's a huge mindset component to it, but today we're talking more about the action. And you're taking these big steps, and you get to this point where you're in this situation and you get this opportunity. And it's like one of those opportunities where you're like, holy shit, like I just me saying yes to this is going to put me on a completely different stratosphere. It's like, I always talk about my husband, who's an artist. And right now he's in these highs and the lows of building his name as an artist. His goal is to become a celebrity artist and do custom work for big names and things like that and get his name out there. And it's going to be a situation where someone finds his work and their people messages him and say, like, they want to commission Jason to do 4 or 5 pieces for something. And it's some great big celebrity name. And that moment comes where that happens. And you know that this is going to put you on the map. This is going to quantum leap you, because the minute that person shows your artwork to their audience, it's going to explode your life. And you're just all of a sudden going to be on this new plane, this new frequency, you're going to be in this new territory. That's the quantum leap. That's where all of a sudden you just explode. You're in this new place and you look back and you're like, holy shit, like, how did I get here? But when you look at what you did, you know how you got there. You took actions back in the day when you did your first piece and you put it on social media, and then you sold your first piece to your neighbor, and then they put it on social media and you shared it. And then you did this and you invested in that. And then you took these moves and you stopped doing the work that you were doing before. You quit your other careers to become an artist, and like, that scary move, and like all these things, like all of these moves. And it brought you to this moment. And they say luck is when preparedness meets opportunity. And it's in the low points of the quantum leap that prepares you for the opportunity, because you're ready, you've learned, you've grown. You're the person who is prepared because you've gone through those lessons to handle where that quantum leap is going to take you. And so you have to know that in order for your desires to become a reality, you have to grow through the ups and the downs to be prepared. Like, there's an order to this. It just doesn't happen overnight. You have to go through the uncertainties, like, you're going to have those self-doubts, but you're going to have to go through it anyways. You're going to have to say yes to it anyways. You're going to have to go. You're going to have faith. You're going to have to do the moves. You're going to have to risk. You're going to have to invest. You're going to have to do all these things that are scary. But it's in those moments that you become the person who can handle having the desire. And that's how it has to be. So the person you are right now, looking at your dream, of course it feels scary. Of course you don't feel like the person who can do that, because you're not yet. You're not. But you have to believe that you can become that person. And the only way you become that person is to take the steps, to take those scary moves, to put yourself into uncertainty, to have the faith, to learn and grow, and just above all, no matter what, you're going to keep moving. You believe that you'll be able to overcome anything and everything that throws your way, because the desire is so strong. There's no other option but you making this work. And that is how you make the quantum leap. You have to suspend your disbelief, have faith that you will figure it out. And then you just start taking action after action after action, learning, winning, learning, winning, learning, winning, opportunity, quantum leap. That's how it goes. Anything is possible for you. Anything is possible for you. So instead of letting doubt decide what you will do, decide what you're going to do with your doubt. And that's Price Pritchard quote. So decide right now that you're going to suspend it. You're going to put it aside. You're going to tell your doubt to just sit down and be quiet, because you're going for it. And have your faith be the thing that speaks the loudest. And just say, whatever happens, I know I will figure it out. I always do. That is something that I constantly say to myself. Whatever comes up, I'll figure it out. I always do. I always figure it out. I always pull through. Sometimes it's messy. Sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it works out beautifully, but it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, I always figure it out. And I want you to believe that for yourself as well. You'll always figure it out. So from Price Pritchard's book, U Squared, 1, he says, act as if your success is for certain. Just act like you have complete faith. Merely do what you do if you knew you were going to succeed. Behave like you have that total conviction. And that's really what you do. If you must doubt something, doubt your limits. All right, everyone. I hope that this fired you up for this Monday. I hope that if you were having self-doubt around something that you desire, something that you want to go for, I hope that you heard this episode today and decided to put your doubt on the shelf, and you decided to listen to the faith and that you're going to take a move today, one move. I don't even care how small it is, but take one move that moves you closer to what it is you want. And if that one move means having a conversation with me, you guys, my DMs are always open on Instagram at Quantum Leap Queen. I'm always happy to chat with you. And I'm actually taking on 2 private clients this summer for 12 weeks to help you quantum leap to where you want to go. So if you are looking for accountability, if you're looking for the mindset, if you're looking for the, how to pursue some of the strategy that goes into making these quantum leaps, I have 2 spots open for a 12-week private coaching. If that's for you and you want to learn more about it, you can send me a DM at Quantum Leap Queen on Instagram, or you can send me an email at shanais@shanarecker.com. All right, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope that you have a fantastic week. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to today's episode. It is my hope that this chat today helped you become relentless in the pursuit of your dreams. If you loved it, please leave an honest review on iTunes. It helps more people find this podcast, this content. And as always, I love when you share screenshots of these episodes on your iPhone into your iStories and tag me in it. I always reshare them and send you a personal thank you message every single time you do it. So thanks so much for joining. Until next time, be relentless in your pursuit.